Channel 4, you come good again. Yet again, look what this one's all about this time. Tories' secret Welsh call centre. Look in today's Mirror and obviously look on Channel 4's website. Once again, you become good. Yep, and just so you know a little bit more, here is, I'm looking for a picture of the gentleman in this call centre. This guy is, I don't know how well you can see his photo because it tends to distort a bit on this. Yeah, but there he is, and he's the boss of the call centre there in Neath in Wales. I think the surname is Sanchez, and he pretends that his call centre staff are just making market research calls, yeah? Market research calls for this lady here just before the general election. And making those market research calls are only supposed to be market research on behalf of a company called AXE, A-X-E, who have, and here is the gentleman again in case you wanted to know who recruited them, there he is again. There's the guy managing the call centre, Sanchez, I think, who had recruited prior to our election loads and loads of 0 hours contract call centre workers. Don't worry about it, I know about working in call centres. That overhead lighting looks about right for call centres. Yeah, you see later on in this secret filming more of the call centre. So there he is, Mr. Sanchez. Yep. Let me partly call this a tale of two call centres. That one we see on the hidden filming done inside Mr. Sanchez's call centre in Neath in Wales, where people are very, very, very much without work. Interestingly enough, an area in which Labour won. Yep. But buried away at the top of some little call centre in Neath were a group of workers who'd been drafted in by him. And something that you often get in call centres, it's common to the culture, is a reward for doing well. Yep, no, that's all right. Perfectly happy about that myself. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Inglesett Company. Thank you very much, all of you. God bless your cotton socks. I remember when I used to sell stuff on the phone for you. I used to get all kinds of rewards. One of my favourites was free washing powder. The amount of dressing gowns and clothes and whatever that my kids and my first wife must have had washed through free aerial washing powder and conditioner as a legitimate incentive was incredible. In fact, I know I get financial incentives as well, and I quite enjoyed earning them as well. But I think I rather more enjoyed earning washing powder. I mean, you know, I might seem like a fairly kind of easily satisfied guy, but you can motivate me with washing powder. You can also motivate me with chocolates as well. Great thing about incentives is that sometimes, and I think human beings realise this, they can just be fun. Yeah. We used to have balloon incentives where there'd be a prize inside each balloon. I mean, the prize might be sort of, I don't know, you get to pop a balloon and inside the balloon is like a box of dairy milk chocolates or a voucher therefore, right? So financial is not always the main way to incentivise people. You can sometimes incentivise people by just having fun, for God's sake. Now, I make that point for a good reason. Because in the AXE call centre that doesn't appear on Google and doesn't seem to have any kind of real connection anywhere. And in this call centre, Mr. Sanchez, the guy you saw earlier in the photo, does like to sort of make sure his call centre workers, all those young 0 hours contract workers, are saying the right thing at the right time. Now, I know this because my calls have been listened into ever since I've worked in call centres. There must be giga, terror, whatever bites of this voice somewhere on somebody's system. We've talked about them, we've analysed them, I've sometimes been told off for them, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't like being monitored constantly, frankly. It does kind of does your head in a little bit, but even so. Now, the point. Mr. Sanchez holds up a £50 note. They seem to have something about £50 notes, Tories, don't they? Because this guy was a failed Tory candidate. So there he holds up a £50 note. Maybe similar to the one that you have to burn in front of a homeless person to get into the Bullingdon Club. Holds up the £50 note and says, if any of you here find any of your colleagues are not sticking to the script, just report them to me. We'll review the call, yep, and you will get £50. It's like Tories, yeah, encouraging you to snitch on other people, to dob them in. You find that type in call centres everywhere, mate. I don't know about you, if anyone from Indersit's watching, you'll know that type. They won't come up to you if you've made a mistake and just discuss it with you. They'll just dob you into the authorities. I've been dobbed in as well, mate. It doesn't matter. You get used to it, yep. But what I'm trying to say in this video is, yeah, obviously this must be investigated because it's illegal. They even got hold of a list of phone numbers that have expressed a preference through the telephone preference service not to be called about anything, and one old lady gets a phone call from them on polling day. She's on the telephone preference service database. Nobody is to call her. It's illegal if you call her. The others, when they call, pretend to be from a marketing and research company. No, it's canvassing. It's definitely canvassing, and it is an offence to pay canvassers on the lead up to an election to call people like that. Under the Representation of the People's Act and whatever, it's an offence. Yep. However, the good news. I telephone canvassed for Labour, and it was brilliant. Yep, it was absolutely brilliant. Getting the old mobile, because we used mobiles and we had SIMs with telephone numbers that came up on them. They were all perfectly legal. All of those calls have been recorded, yep, but getting the old mobile to the ear that was a prepaid SIM on behalf of the Labour Party and saying I'm calling on behalf of the local Labour Party, my name is Tony, was delightful. I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. We weren't trying to hide our identity. In fact, if I looked it up, I could even tell you the address on Commercial Road in Lowestoft of the Labour Party offices from which we were making those phone calls. Because it just so happens that, shall we say, Commercial Road in Lowestoft probably has a slightly dodgy reputation. But that much said, big posters on the wall, on the windows saying we're from the Labour Party. As I'm making my phone calls, I'm actually looking at a picture of Nye Bevin. Yeah! Absolutely. Hero. Yeah? And we don't mind. We're honest. We canvass legally. Note that. Legally. We don't also have, when we telephone canvass, we don't have like 50, 60, 80, 100 people somewhere in a call centre somewhere being paid either by the number of calls they make or just to turn out 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute phone calls to lists that they shouldn't even have access to under British law. No, we do it free, gratis, for nothing. Voluntary. So, DWP, if you are watching, I didn't get paid anything. Yeah, okay, no payment. Yeah, but it was a delight to do. So once again, please, let's keep this active. Let's keep looking in the papers. Let's keep pushing it forwards with the relevant commission. Let's see that Sanchez and Axe and whatever are all charged and convicted, yeah, of abuse during the period of the election and the lead up to the election. Offences under the Representation of the People's Act. Don't worry, we know the Tories will try and bury it. Of course they will. Just like they tried to bury election fraud and whatever in the previous election, we know they want it to go away. I'm Mrs. May. Make it go away. Make it go away. Yeah, but let's make sure it doesn't go away. Have a great day. Bye.